Have you ever wondered why some people seem to remain stuck in a cycle of poverty, while others easily escape it? It's a question that has puzzled many. Welcome to the Mima, where we aim to transform your world with knowledge, understanding, and inspiration. Poverty, a word that conjures up images of scarcity, deprivation, and want. But it is not just the absence of money, it is a complex and multifaceted issue, deeply ingrained in societal structures and personal circumstances alike. It's like a vast, intricate puzzle where each piece represents a different challenge, a different obstacle to be overcome. Now imagine if this puzzle had rules, not the kind you'd find in a game manual, but unseen, unspoken guidelines that govern the lives of those affected by poverty. Rules that shape their experiences, their choices, and their futures. These are the rules of poverty. These rules are not necessarily laws or regulations, but patterns of behavior and circumstance that can trap individuals and families in a cycle of poverty. They can be as simple as the choice to buy cheaper, less nutritious food to make ends meet, or as complex as systemic barriers that limit access to quality education and job opportunities. Just like any other rule, breaking them requires understanding them first, and that's where we come in. Here at the Mima, we believe that knowledge is power. And it's our mission to equip you with the knowledge to understand these rules, to challenge them, and ultimately, to break free from them. So are you ready to delve into this intricate puzzle, to understand the unseen rules that may be influencing your life or the lives of those around you? If so, buckle up, because we're about to take a deep dive into the heart of poverty to uncover the 10 unwritten rules that govern it. Now that we've established the concept of poverty, let's delve into the 10 unwritten rules that govern it. So, what are these rules that govern poverty? Let's start with the first 3. Rule 1, the rule of limited resources. This rule simply means that when you're in a state of poverty, you have fewer resources at your disposal. You might find yourself thinking, if only I had more money, more time, more support, then I could change my circumstances. But it's not just about having less, it's also about having to make more with what you do have. It's like trying to bake a cake with only half the ingredients. You can still make something, but it's going to be a lot harder, and it might not turn out quite how you planned. Rule 2, the rule of stagnation. This rule states that when you're poor, it can often feel like you're stuck, like you're running on a treadmill. You're working hard, you're moving, but you're not making any real progress. It's a constant struggle to stay afloat, and the idea of moving forward, of saving and investing, seems like a distant dream. And then there's Rule 3, the rule of learned helplessness. This rule describes the mindset that can develop when you're living in poverty. After a while, you might start to believe that no matter what you do, your situation isn't going to change. You feel helpless, trapped. You start to think that it's just how life is, and how it always will be. This mindset can be the most damaging of all, as it can prevent you from taking steps to improve your situation, even when opportunities do arise. These rules aren't insurmountable, but they are real. They are the unseen forces that shape the lives of those living in poverty, and understanding them is the first step towards breaking free. With these first 3 rules in mind, let's see how they play out in the lives of those experiencing poverty. Before we proceed, we'd love to hear from you. You must be brimming with insights and thoughts by now. Why not share them in the comment section below? What have you learned so far? How does it relate to what you've experienced or observed? Remember, this channel is not just about us talking. It's about you learning, sharing, and growing. And hey, there's a bonus for those who subscribe while watching this video. We've got a warm and fuzzy virtual hug waiting for you. So hit that subscribe button and join our community. We're here to support each other, to learn together, and to create a better world for everyone. Your engagement means a lot to us. It fuels our passion for creating content that truly transforms lives. So keep those comments coming, keep sharing your learning, and keep engaging. Now on to the next set of rules. Are you ready for the next 3 rules? Here they are. First up, let's talk about the 4th rule, the rule of scarcity mindset. This rule is about the mindset that there is never enough. It's like seeing the world through a lens of lack, where opportunities are limited and resources are scarce. Picture this, you're at a supermarket and you see a discounted item. The scarcity mindset would compel you to hoard that item, even if you don't really need it, just because it's on sale. Next, we move on to the 5th rule, the rule of social isolation. This rule revolves around the unfortunate reality that poverty often leads to social exclusion. Let's say you're invited to a party, but you can't afford the ticket. This could lead to you missing out on networking opportunities, fun experiences, and potential friendships. Over time, this can lead to a sense of isolation and loneliness. Lastly, we have the sixth rule, the rule of broken systems. This rule highlights the fact that there are institutional and systemic factors that perpetuate poverty. Imagine a scenario where a person is unable to secure a good job because of a lack of quality education in their neighborhood. This is a classic example of a broken system that traps individuals in a cycle of poverty. As we delve deeper into these rules, it's important to remember that these aren't just abstract concepts. These are real issues that affect real people every day. They shape the way individuals in poverty perceive the world and how the world perceives them. But remember, understanding these rules is the first step towards breaking them. By acknowledging these realities, we can start to challenge them, and in doing so, we can start to pave the way for change. As we uncover these rules, we hope you're gaining a deeper understanding of the complexities of poverty. And now, we arrive at the final 4 rules. Let's dive right in with Rule 7, the rule of disempowerment. This rule refers to the sense of helplessness that often accompanies poverty. Many who are financially struggling feel they lack control over their circumstances, which can lead to a cycle of apathy and inaction. Imagine feeling like no matter how hard you work, no matter what you do, your situation just doesn't improve. That's the essence of disempowerment. Next up, Rule 8, the rule of lack of education. Education is a gateway to better opportunities. However, for those caught in the poverty trap, access to quality education is often difficult, further limiting their prospects for upward mobility. It's like trying to navigate a maze in the dark. Without the light of education, finding a way out becomes a whole lot tougher. Rolling into Rule 9, we have the rule of poor health. Poverty and poor health often go hand in hand. Lack of access to nutritious food, clean water, and healthcare services can lead to a myriad of health issues. It's like being in a race where you're not only starting from the back, but you're also carrying a heavy backpack. Health issues make the race against poverty even harder. And finally, Rule 10, the rule of systemic inequality. This rule is about the societal and institutional barriers that disproportionately affect those in poverty. It's like playing a game where the rules are stacked against you. Systemic inequality makes escaping poverty a Sisyphean task. These 10 rules may seem daunting, but understanding them is the first step towards breaking free from the cycle of poverty. Together, let's shed light on these unseen rules, because knowledge is power, and with power, we can change the game. We've journeyed through the 10 rules of poverty today. It's a tough topic, but one that needs to be discussed. As we've seen, these rules are more than just financial constraints. They're patterns of thought and behavior, unseen barriers that can keep us trapped in a cycle of insufficiency. But by understanding these rules, we can begin to break free. Reflect on these concepts. Are there any patterns you recognize in your own life? What steps can you take to break these patterns? Remember, it's not about blaming ourselves for our circumstances. It's about empowering ourselves to change them. Change is possible, and it starts with understanding, awareness, and action. You are not alone in this journey. We are here ready to provide the tools and insights you need. Thank you for joining us on this journey. If you found this content valuable, please subscribe to the Mima, transforming your world, and stay tuned for more enlightening content. Together we can rise above.